Our next reader, Christine Sausto, is the proud host of big, chaotic Italian family parties, reigning Pictionary champion, and middle child. She is a lover of lattes, dancing like an idiot, and hikes. Christine Sausto.
Okay. Oh, it's easier. Okay, that's good. Thanks. Is this good? As you guys can tell, I've never spoken into a microphone before. Would you say? Pull it down. Okay. All right. Thanks for the support. I didn't think much about my voice until I realized I couldn't use it. I met Devin on a camping trip while I was living on Maui, and I immediately noticed his patience, how happily he stopped to adjust my pack over and over to get it to fit just right, and how in a group of 11, he was the only other person who thought to bring coffee. He would laugh well before the punchline of his own jokes, dance shamelessly like no one was watching. His authenticity could only really be described by using his name as a verb, unforced, like he belonged everywhere he went. He lived in a tiny home on a beautiful piece of farmland. He'd make eggs over a campfire, even though he had a stove. One morning, looking up at the instruments hanging from the rafters, I asked, "Why don't you sing to me?" He responded, "Well, you don't sing to me." We laughed and went back to reading a Sears Roebuck catalog, but I kept thinking about what he said, how he didn't see his voice as more important than mine, even though he was a musician and I wasn't. He was the only adult I had ever known who did things for the joy of doing them, placing no value on being good at anything. A few weeks later, back in New York, I committed to channeling my inner Devin. Say yes. Do things for the joy of doing them. I was at a yoga workshop, lying in Shavasana, when I felt a scrap of paper next to my hand. The instructor had scribbled, "Throat chakra, take singing lessons." I thought, okay, this is the invitation. Say yes. At my first lesson, Maria asked about my goals. To sound like Adele? To not be embarrassed to sing around a campfire? But when I opened my mouth, nothing would come out. My eyes filled with tears. Being fully seen felt unbearable. I was scared to do it wrong. And I knew that feeling because before Maui, there was someone else. We were together for 10 years, and the simplest way to explain it, he just didn't like me. I was too much and somehow not quite enough. The way I breathed, what I read, how much olive oil I used. I didn't hang out with our friends enough, but when I did, my stories were too long. I was too nice, but when I asked for something, then I was needy. 10 years passed like that, shrinking to try and fit. My confidence wrung bone dry. My body hunched forward under the weight of defeat. I looked at him, standing there, tall, completely unaffected, and I asked, "Can we figure this out together?" He looked away. "I don't want to put in the effort. I have no desire for you, for this." And in that moment, it became clear. I had been negotiating against myself. Choking is what you feel when you abandon yourself, when you say what you need and watch nothing change, but stay anyway. When somewhere along the way, you start to believe all the small insults, that you are not worthy. I should have said it earlier. There can be quiet without peace. When I left, the insecurity, the grief, the shame, they stayed, trapped in my throat. So I kept showing up on Wednesday afternoons, again and again, with a teacher patient and kind enough to sit beside me, until eventually my body softened and I made enough sound for us to confidently confirm I do not sound like Adele, and that I found my voice. I found my way back home to myself. Here, I do not need to fit. I belong.